I think we are live now. Hey everyone, very good evening to all of you. Those who are watching us. Hope all of you are staying safe. Hope all of you are, doing good. So welcome to the episode number 5 of the TLC Talk Show with Sachin Daya. And in today's episode, we have with us another guest from our TLC Helios Mastermind, our esteemed leader, coach, yogapreneur, Yoga Acharya Manish. First of all, thank you so much, Manish ji, for joining us today, and a very warm welcome on the TLC Talk Show with Sachin Daya.
Namaste and good evening, and thank you, Sachin. It's a pleasure and an honor to be part of this TLC talk.
Thank you.
I think this talk show of yours is going really well, I feel, and best wishes from me, so that in the weeks and months to come, it will become a big brand in itself.
Thank you. Thank you so much, Manish, for your blessings. And so glad to have you, coaches, leaders like you in our TLC Helios Mastermind, who is always there, to support and to welcome me. So thank you so much for joining us one more time. So without any delay, let's just jump into our session. So the very first thing I want to ask you is about your backstory, your back journey, how a person from a marketing or ad background get into this field of coaching, and specifically yoga, because your niche is stress to success via the path of yoga, right? So please share a bit detail and a bit background about yourself with the audience.
Sachin, before going into my my background, my corporate journey, I think first I will tell you about the first dot which started when I was in 12th standard.
Okay.
So my first rendezvous with yoga was when I was in 12th standard. It was, I used to have a very frequent chest infections, throat infection, sinus problem when I was in 11th, 12th. So my grandmother took me to this Tapovan ashram, the Chinmay Tapovan ashram in Dharamshala, and to one of the brahmacharis there.
Yeah.
And he taught me some asanas, some pranayams, some breathing techniques, and some kriyas like neti and jal neti. So after that, for many years, it was like perfectly fine. So that was the first dot, and I still recall that. After that, after my BSc, my bachelor in journalism, my MBA marketing, I joined advertising industry, and over the span of around 20 years, I worked with medium-sized and two of the biggest advertising conglomerates of the world, Ogilvy and JWT.
Okay.
And after that, I started my entrepreneurial journey. For around 2 years, it was going gaga, but then obviously. But then after that, there was some I incurred a lot of losses because being a manager in a big company is one thing, and being an entrepreneur is another thing. Absolutely. That I realized at that point of time.
Okay.
So obviously there was stress, there were very big financial loss, all those things were there. And then finally I got into yoga. So I spent 3-4 years studying and doing deep practice on yoga, and finally in 2018 I ventured full time into yoga teaching. So that is going to be my future till the time I'm here.
Okay.
But then one thing more, sorry.
Yeah, please go ahead,
one thing more, I was into yoga teaching offline only. I had a yoga center. I used to take yoga sessions in the corporates and societies.
Okay.
Online. But then last year, I just happened to attend one of online sessions of TLC, Murli Sundaram, Sudhir Kollam, Guru Murli. From there, I got in touch with you, I remember. But that was just the beginning of my coaching journey, I would say. But it was only when this mastermind, Helios Mastermind, started, and I got in touch with you specifically. Yeah. After that, you remember we had almost 1 hour discussion, and we zeroed down on this niche of stress to success via the path of yoga.
Absolutely. You're on mute actually. Yeah. So that's a wonderful to hear, because I think whatever you have gone through in your life, like from stress that you used to have as a manager or as an entrepreneur, now you're turning the same into a success, because you have realized that through the path of yoga you can actually achieve the fulfillment in your life as well. and whatever you do, and also have a peace of mind at the same time.
And see, incidentally, what used to happen is in my yoga sessions,
Yeah.
now I realize almost 50% of the time used to be, apart from asanas and pranayams, it used to be yoga nidra, it used to be shavasana, it used to be relaxation, and it used to be breathing techniques.
Okay.
And then I realized last year when the pandemic started that whatever you do, I attended lots of stress management sessions also, and I realized that to manage stress, to manage bad stress, I think yoga is the best possible pathway that could be. So that's why I separately started this stress to success by the path of yoga.
Amazing to hear that, Manishi. So how's the journey so far, being as a coach or teaching yoga? First into offline world, and then you're turning into the online. I think from last year, I believe. So how's your journey being adapting to the technology, adapting to the new changes that is happening? Because there are a lot of coaches, or there are a lot of yoga trainers out there, who are commercializing this market. So how's your experience so far when you are taking it to full time as a coach, as a stress to success yoga trainer?
See, I would put it this way that I see today what has happened is yoga has become synonymous with asanas only. That is one issue which I want to address, because yoga is not only asanas, yoga is not only asanas and pranayams for half an hour or 1 hour in the morning on the yoga mat in the yoga center. These days at home, COVID times. So yoga has to be lived throughout the day, 24 hours a day. That is what I want to convey to people. If you're breathing correctly, you're doing yoga. If you're being selfless, you are doing karma yoga. That is again stress management. If you surrender fully to the Lord, 100% to the Lord, that is bhakti yoga. So that is again yoga. So but we all of us have got stuck to asanas and pranayams only. They are important. They are important. But even in Ashtanga Yoga, asanas and pranayams are just 2 limbs out of the 8 limbs. So holistic yoga is what we should now focus more on. So that's what I'm trying to popularize, trying to teach, and not teach, I would say, share with people.
I think thank you so much for first of all sharing your nuggets from the wisdom that you're having, from the experience that you're having. Because yes, there is a stereotype that when we talk about yoga, we only limit yoga to those asanas, those positions that we have, right? We do to heal our body, or to be into a shape, to get fit and all that stuff. But I think it's much more deeper than that, and I think you are wonderfully exploring this space where you are teaching yoga way beyond that people think yoga is. So thank you, Manishi, for sharing that. Moving on, now I want to ask you how you landed up on TLC. Like, I think you have already mentioned that you happened to attend one of the webinar by Guru Murli and Sunil Palam, and then the journey started. So if you can just share a bit detail about what was your expectation when we are watching, or when we are attended webinar, and when you are just paying the amount to become part of this. So any experience that you want to share? How was that experience?
See, what I liked about TLC was that it is holistic, I would say. It is a complete package. Coaching skills are being taught, entrepreneurial skills are being taught, selling skills are being taught, and most importantly, technological skills are being taught. Some people lack in technology. I, for example, am not too savvy with technology, so even that is being taught. Some people are good at marketing, not good at selling. So I would say that I'm good at marketing, but yes, I'm not that good at selling. So even those skills are being taught. So whatever we have learned, whatever we have studied in MBA, those were almost 2.5, 3 decades back. So times have changed. Today's the IT world is there. So all the latest technology, latest trends are being taught. So that is something which really struck with me. That is one. And secondly, because that was the first part, but the most important part was the mastermind community. The power of community, the power of sharing with each other, the power of helping each other, which is happening in Helios under, I think, your able leadership.
Thank you. You're too kind. I think it's just as I always put this comment, put this quote. A leader is as good as his team. I think you are wonderful, wonderful leaders. I'm so blessed to be, surrounded with all of you.
No,
So,
something. See, sorry, something uh, which inspires us. Your thing I'm talking about is one is
uh-huh.
your youthful energy.
Yeah.
Second is your consistency. Because Sachin Daya, success habit coach. So
Uh-huh.
consistency is something which really strikes us, and obviously positivity is there. So
Mm-hmm.
that trickles down to all the members of
Thank you,
Helios
thank you
that way.
again. Thank you so much for your too kind, Manish. So, okay, so I think you have already shared the uniqueness, whatever you have felt. So, how TLC has helped you growing your online business of yoga, stress to success yogapreneur as your positioning is. So, what do you want to share with the audience, those who are watching us, like whatever you have gained so far, what are your learnings from the mastermind, whether it's your presentation skills, whether it's your selling, or whether it's your the power of community. I think you've already shared that. So, any big differences that you have felt, or whatever you have learned, major points if you want to share from TLC, and yeah, of course, mastermind as well.
See, accountability partner is one thing which is a real hallmark of TLC and obviously Helios,
Yeah.
because we have our accountability partners, we interact with them, and we commit to them, and then we have to live up to the commitment. That is one. Weekly, we are getting a chance to present, because as I said before TLC, I was a totally offline person.
Yeah.
But after coming here, now I'm conducting my online
Mm-hmm.
seminars, webinars also.
Yeah.
So those practice sessions take you 2-3 steps ahead, and obviously then the course corrections are there. There are people in the community who you know upfront tell you that yes, you are lacking in this area, which we do
Yeah.
to each other. So
Yeah.
that is
True.
something, the power of community, as I said.
Okay.
So
All
that
right.
is something which really
Mm-hmm.
everyone I think would appreciate these
Mm-hmm.
facts about.
True. I think it's again it comes down to having the like-minded people around you. It's okay if you are learning through yourself. It's good to self-learn and self-development. It's okay, but if you really want to grow fast, or if you really want to grow to your maximum potential, that you need like-minded people, those who can help you out, take you along their way as well. So that's why I think we humans always need those accountability partners. We humans always need those communities as well.
And one more thing, Sachin, which I learned at TLC was uh, your level 1, level 2, level 3 programs. For example, I have developed my in stress to success, I have developed my level 1 program as stress to success by the path of yoga, which is a 90-minute session which I conduct offline also and online also.
Okay.
So that is level 1, which is at a very nominal price or at times free also.
Okay.
So that just to get where we get to know each other. People get to know me, I get to know them. So there I tell them what is stress, what stress is not, stress from the scientific perspective, then why yoga for stress. Then, as the name of my firm is Prevention and Cure, then there is a instant stress management technique called SOURCE. अगर stress हो गया तो instantly कैसे उसे दूर करें. And there is a preventive 30-minute stress buster yoga session. अगर वो रोज करेंगे तो stress कम होगा. So so these, after doing this offline, online I learned purely at TLC. So that is level 1.
Great.
So level 2 is also there. Then we take them to the next level, which is a 5-hour session. So, and then I also conduct my stress buster yoga retreats in Dharamshala. So level 1, level 2, level 3. That is one learning, as I forgot to tell earlier, at TLC.
No, I think it's good. Thank you so much again for adding this point, because up till now we were into offline mode of entrepreneurship, right? Teaching people, coaching people, or guiding people, or as you said, sharing your knowledge with the people, whatever you have felt. But now you are also thinking as an entrepreneur as well, how to make your business model around it, how to take it
exactly flame model, for example.
Yeah, bigger and bigger, and take it to a more vast audience. That's good. That's good. So moving on to the next question, Maniji. If I ask you if you can in detail share about your programs or trainings, what you do, or as you shared that you talk about one source, if you really want to get up. So if you can explain in bit detail for the audience, those who are watching us, it would be great. And anything you offer to the audience, so that they can connect with you there?
See, in this level 1 program, what I do is after the program is conducted, there's a 21 days interaction session every day on the WhatsApp. So once the session is conducted, then every day they put on WhatsApp whatever they did, whatever they want to learn more, wherever they are missing. For example, 30 minutes stress buster yoga session. Now, what is important about this 30 minutes is that अगर आप हमारे पास 30 मिनट ही हैं, तो अगर हमने उसमें 20 मिनट आसन कर दिया और 10 मिनट अनुलोम विलोम कर लिया, तो we will not get holistic benefit out of it.
Okay.
So how to get the best benefit out of those 30 minutes? So that is important.
Yeah.
Only 30 minutes. So when they practice daily, then they ask me questions. So 21 days, when they become more or less hands-on with that technique.
Yeah.
So that is something which I offer to them after the session.
Okay.
And then obviously the second level is there, which is a 4-hour session, 4.5 hours, 4 to 4.5 hours. The first 90 minutes is
I think we've lost Manishi here.
Stress management via Bhakti Yoga.
Okay.
Bhagavad Gita. That's again Bhakti. So that is level 2.
Okay. Bhakti Yoga, right? Great. I think you have shared this about in your presentations. And what about those? I think offline retreats as you do, right? As well, offline retreats.
So these are 4 days yoga retreats in Dharamshala, Himachal Pradesh. And for so the place is such that once you reach there, crystal clear blue sky, crystal clear water, the rivers are flowing, snow-clad mountains. वहाँ पहुँच के ही आपका stress दूर हो जाता है.
Absolutely.
So people who have not attended the level 1 and level 2, they get to attend the level 1, level 2 also. Then morning we do morning walk. Then we have a 2-hour yoga pranayam session. Then we go out for sightseeing. So many Shakti Peeths are there, Buddhist monasteries are there, rivers are there, paragliding is there. Then evening we come back. Then there is a stress management session, stress to success. Then bonfire is there. So it's 4 days packed session, full entertainment, full stress buster.
Yeah, absolutely.
That is something which people love like anything.
Absolutely. I think the way you are sharing, I can already feel that you have added everything. Whatever a person needs when he goes to the mountain hill, that peace of mind, that yoga, that paragliding, and everything is you have covered.
And the most important part is that each and every activity is very nicely woven together with the theme of yoga. For example, Bhagsunag waterfall is there. Yeah. Once you reach there, आप देखते हैं वहां से waterfall start हो रहा है. We'll tell you कि आप वहां से देखिए कि that gush of water is starting from there. It falls, touches the ground, and from there it comes to you. It touches your feet. The splash of water on you.
Yeah.
उससे better meditation क्या हो सकता है?
Absolutely. I can feel it literally. A waterfall and then touching the feet. The way you have explained these things. Thank you, Manish.
So during the day when we go for even our morning walk, what we do is we ask the attendees, the participants to वहाँ से वो छोटे-छोटे लकड़ी के टुकड़े लेके आते हैं. We don't tell them कि किस लिए है. But in the evening when the bonfire is there, then they are using that over there. So उनका contribution है bonfire में. So that is the act of giving. कर्म योग हो रहा वहाँ पे. So all those activities are there. It's like
great. I think you are again taking those people out, building a community there for 4 short period of time, 4 to 5 days. Helping each other out, enjoying the nature, and doing all sort of sports and fun activity as well. So you're making it super fun without knowing people that they are going for that yoga, that how the yoga is stereotyped into this time.
In the evening we get to know कि अच्छा वो जो activity किया था वो yoga के इस aspect में आता है. वो जो activity किया था वो yoga के इस aspect में आता है. Then they understand that as I said, yoga is not only about asana pranayama. Yoga can be done throughout the day, 24 hours a day. That is the objective of the yoga when it was propounded thousands of years back. But हम भूल गए. Now again we are trying to come back to the same thing.
Absolutely. I think as I said, we have stereotyped yoga to the asanas and to the positions and to that fitness thing. But it's more than that. It's more spiritual.
The reason is that because asanas are more dynamic, they are more flamboyant, they are more attractive. But then we have to go beyond that also.
Yeah, because stress is there inside your mental and emotional health, right? It's more about that, not only about physical aspect of your body.
When the mind is calm, then everything.
But
Because
like
what as I always say that today is the age of knowledge. जब हम बच्चे थे आज से अराउंड 40-45 साल पहले, तो हमें कुछ पूछना होता था तो कई बार कई साल लग जाते थे to get an answer. But today at the click of a button we get everything. So what I say is today is the age of knowledge. Knowledge is everywhere. Rather there is overdose of knowledge.
Absolutely.
But when the time comes for implementation, we tend to falter because the mind is in stress.
Yeah, true.
और वो स्ट्रेस दूर करने का एक ही तरीका है, एक तरीका नहीं कहूंगा, one of the most potent
absolutely
way is
ancient
breathing.
Ancient, one of the ancient
breathing,
and related to
asana.
our culture, right? It's the breathing that you talked about, the yoga, mental sakti, all those things that you have shared here.
Calming the mind.
Absolutely great. Thank you Manishji. It was really overblown by the description that you have shared about that whole thing that you do. I think you also need to share this in our group as well, the way you have shared here. I'm sure you're going to get some of our members also sign up for the next time whenever you are doing your retreat. So it must be, I think, how it happened, like
Sure.
which part of the year or how many times you do in a year?
Sorry?
Like which part of the year do you conduct these?
Sorry Sachin?
Okay. Can you hear me now?
Yeah, now I can hear. Actually, which part of the year? See, it starts from March, it goes on till June end. Then again September, October, November is there.
Okay.
But now we are waiting for this pandemic to be over to start it again.
Yeah. Okay. Great. Thank you Manishji for adding that. Now let's come to the rapid fire questions.
Okay.
Where I'll be asking you 3 questions. You have to answer in one word or maximum one sentence. So the first question is TLC for you in one word.
Not in one word, one phrase. It's a complete package.
Okay. Taken. Thank you. One of the most fun or memorable moment in TLC for you so far, specifically Helios Mastermind, if I have to ask.
Interestingly, it's not about coaching or training. I would say after meeting virtually for so many months, when we met offline in the first week of February in Delhi, I think that was the most till now the memorable moment. Because one-to-one connectivity जब आती है ना, उसके बाद then आप face to face ना भी मिलो, connectivity is at a different level altogether.
True. Great. Last one is, according to you, today's coaches and trainers needs what? If you have to share in one sentence, or if you want to share that, what according to you today's coaches need?
If I have to say in one word, I'll say being selfless. But if you permit me, I would want to explain it in a little more detail.
Absolutely.
See, it is connected to today's COVID times also. I will go back to I think this reminds me of the 12th shlok in chapter number 3 in Bhagavad Gita, where Shri Krishna says that the Devi Devtas, nourished by your sacrifice, your yagya, your means us, Bhagavan is telling us that the Devi Devtas, nourished by your sacrifice, your yagya, will give you your desired objects even without asking. This without asking is important. And the one who enjoys the blessings of Devi Devtas and in return does not take care of them is a thief. Bhagavan says, is a thief. वो चोर है. So he's being very blatant, very upfront about it, and he's using a very strong word. वो चोर है. He's a thief. In fact, this shloka also guides us and advises us to be close to nature, to worship nature. Because हमारे देवी देवता कौन है? Who are they? If you look at all the ancient cultures of the world, especially our Sanatan Dharma, our Devi Devtas are one or the other aspect of the nature. Surya Dev, Chandra Dev, Agni Dev, Vayu Dev, Jal Devta, Dharti Ma, Ganga Maiya, Har Har Narmade. So, and so on. Nature, प्रकृति की पूजा करो, भगवान कहते हैं. उनका ख्याल रखो, उनकी संरक्षण करो, उनकी देखभाल करो, वो आपका ख्याल रखेंगे। लेकिन हमारा पूरा परिवार जो है, परिवार आई मीन द एंटायर ह्यूमन कम्युनिटी इज नाउ अ चोर, बिकॉज हमने फ्री में सब कुछ ले लिया पर दिया कुछ नहीं। सो ऑब्वियसली तो हमें सजा तो मिलनी थी, कोविड, बिकॉज हमने नेचर का ख्याल नहीं रखा। एंड इफ यू थिंक अ लिटिल डीपली, थोड़ा और हम गहराई में जाके सोचे, वी विल रियलाइज दैट दिस इज द मोस्ट सस्टेनेबल वे टू थ्राइव इन दिस वर्ल्ड। नेचर की पूजा करो, नेचर की सेवा करो, नेचर हमारा ख्याल रखेंगे। अब आप सोचिए, सनलाइट इज फ्री बट वी डोंट वैल्यू इट। आज आप देखेंगे जिसको भी आप पूछिए विटामिन डी खा रहा है, हालांकि विटामिन डी तो फ्री में है, ऑर्गेनिक विटामिन डी। वाटर इज फ्री इन द फॉर्म ऑफ रेन, रिवर्स, बट हम ना तो रेन वाटर हार्वेस्टिंग करते हैं, ना उस वो नदी के जल को हम उसका प्रॉपर यूज करते हैं। And incidentally, I was in Himachal for last month for 3 weeks. Remote village, 3 जगह पानी का प्रॉब्लम है। Water everywhere, but not a drop to drink. Air is free, oxygen is free, but आज most of the deaths due to COVID is happening because of oxygen. What a pity, what an irony. अब आप सोचिए।
really deep thought, Manish. I think those are
हमें सब फ्री में चाहिए, लेकिन हम उस फ्री का जो है ना, हम नेचर का ख्याल नहीं रखना चाहते। And so we are being, I think, penalized for that. So what I want to say is, आपने मुझे कोचेस के बारे में पूछा, मैं थोड़ा कहीं कोविड में भी ले गया। So what I want to say is being selfless. Being selfless. If I want to earn money, if I want to earn fame, if I want to earn, and I want to coach people, I might get, I might not, but if I'm generous, if I really want to add value to their life, if I'm being selfless, ये सारी चीजें by default आ जाएंगे। So that is what we need to understand. I think you'll agree with me.
Absolutely, well said. Thank you so much, Manish, for sharing this wisdom, because very few people think like that. Because in today's world, where you need instant results, where you need the money, the fame, people are after
the perspective has to change. पैसे के लिए हमें कोच नहीं करना, हमें उनके लाइफ में वैल्यू ऐड करना है सेल्फलेसली। वो अदर थिंग्स आर बाय डिफॉल्ट। अब कर्मयोग क्या है? कर्मयोग के बहुत सारे डेफिनेशंस है, बट द वन डेफिनेशन दैट स्ट्राइक्स टू मी इज व्हेन वी डू एनी एक्ट फॉर द गुड ऑफ आवर फेलो बीइंग्स अराउंड अस विदाउट एक्सपेक्टिंग एनीथिंग इन रिटर्न एवर, दैट इज कर्मयोग। सो दैट इज बीइंग सेल्फलेस। हमें उसकी तरफ बढ़ना है, हम भी बढ़ रहे हैं। Let's see how fast and how early we reach there, but the intention has to be there.
Absolutely well said. And thank you so much for sharing this nugget, because a lot of people do not have this thought process, as I shared earlier as well. We are running after the results, we are running after the money, the fame, the popularity, but at the end we forget that it's all about making a change in others people's life, right? Because if that is your intention, obviously these money, the fame is byproduct. And you have rightly mentioned and shared quotation from Bhagavad Gita as well. It's a bhakti yoga, right? Where you karma yoga, that you do with your full devotion the work, and you really want to impact the other people's life, rather than focusing on how much you're gonna get, how much you're gonna earn from that. But it's all about making the difference to others people.
और वही होता है ना, जब हम कहते हैं कि हम औरों के लिए हमें कुछ अच्छा करना है, this और शब्द has to go, others, the word has to go. Instead of saying we will do it for others, हमें औरों के लिए कुछ अच्छा करना, हमें, अरे वो और नहीं है, वो मैं ही तो हूँ। The same divine who is within me is within you, within everyone. जिस दिन ये समझ में आ गई बात, तो फिर उस दिन तो everything is,
absolutely
everything will fall in place.
You have rightly shared how we are exploiting the nature, and now nature is exploiting us, the whole humanity across the globe. So thank you so much, Manish, for sharing this wisdom with us, and I hope the viewers, those who are watching us today, really getting a lot of value through your share, and then how you have correlated COVID in today's situation, and what wrong we are doing, not only with us but with nature, with other people as well. So thank you, Manish, for today's share. I hope you also enjoyed it, because I have enjoyed it tremendously, listening to you, your shares, and the way you have shared this wisdom with people in such a simplistic way. It was amazing listening to you and your journey.
Same here, Sachin. And as I said, I think all of us learn 3 things from you: youthful energy, consistency, and positivity. So ये हम हमेशा आपसे सीखते हैं. So I think you also have to maintain it and take it to the next level.
Absolutely. With your
we look
support,
up to you for this.
Absolutely. Thank you so much for your kind words, and I'm also learning from the members as well. I'm learning from you as well, the humbleness, the way you are sharing your knowledge with us. So I think it's always a continuous process. This is the power of community, right? This is the power of community. You learn from each other, irrespective of where you stand in your position. But thank you so much, and we are blessed to have you in our Helios Mastermind. You have been a good action taker, apart from last 1 month. I think
we are blessed to have all the members are awesome in Helios. I would say I think everyone has got his own uniqueness, and everyone is just great.
Okay, thank you so much, viewers, for watching us today. Hope you have enjoyed. As I said, as I have enjoyed listening to Manish ji and his wisdom on stress to success through the path of yoga. Because in India specifically, we always have the stereotype around yoga that yoga is all about the asanas, the positions, and about the physical aspect of our body. But as Manish ji have said, that it's much more beyond and deeper than that. It's more related to your mind. And calming the mind has always been, the main thing when it comes to stress. So thank you, Manish ji, one more time for sharing your wisdom. It was a pleasure having you.
Thank you, Sachin. Thanks a lot. If you allow, I would like to end it with a Shanti mantra for all of us in these COVID times.
Please go ahead.
So all the viewers who are watching, I would request everyone to sit straight, spine, neck, and head in one straight line. And if you want, you can gently close your eyes. A gentle smile on your face, and let's chant Om 3 times. Om, 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 Om Trayambakam Yajamahi Sugandhim Pushtivardhanam Urvarukamiv Bandhanan Mrityor Mokshe Mamritat. Om Trayambakam Yajamahi Sugandhim Pushtivardhanam Urvarukamiv Bandhanan Mrityor Mokshe Mamritat. Om Trayambakam Yajamahi Sugandhim Pushtivardhanam Urvarukamiv Bandhanan Mrityor Mokshe Mamritat. Sarvesham Swastir Bhavatu, Sarvesham Shantir Bhavatu, Sarvesham Purnam Bhavatu, Sarvesham Mangalam Bhavatu, Sarve Bhavantu Sukhina, Sarve Santu Niramaya, Sarve Bhadrani Pashyantu Ma Kashchid Dukbhag Bhave, Asato Ma Sadgamaya, Tamaso Ma Jyotirgamaya, Mrityorma Amritam Gamaya. Om Purnamada Purnamidam Purnat Purnamudashyate Purnasya Purnamadaya Purnameva Vashishyate. Om Shanti Shanti Shanti. Hari Om. Tat Sat.
Thank you, Yoga ji. Thank you, Manish ji, for doing that and sharing with us. It was amazing, doing this, because I also follow the spirituality or these mantras and all. It's really, mind blowing, I would say. Thank you so much for giving this calmness and for the pray for this for the humanity, for the world, and for the betterment of each one of us. So thank you so much, viewers, for watching us today. Yeah, I will see you, and we will see you, in fact, in the next week on another Monday with another coach sharing their journey and their coaching business. So till then, take care and please stay safe. Bye bye.
Yes, please stay safe. Thank you.